many times before.
Many times before, I can feel this for sure. I've been here before. I can feel this for sure, for sure, for sure.
Rating different manifestations. So today's topic is going to be about manifestation. I hope y'all can really see that because it is a little backwards and I do apologize. Number 1, 6-9 manifestation is the first technique that I want to discuss. This method is a go-to for me. It is very lengthy. It requires time. If I had to rate it just off efficiency and effectiveness, I would say a 10 out of 10 in terms of how well it works, whatever I manifested when using this method. It came. However, it's time consuming and it can be a bit of a commitment. You have to do this for 33 days straight, and you're making sure you do these things also a day, end of the day. So it's really a commitment. I didn't have a problem with it. I know when I was committed to the 369 manifestation method, I set an alarm on my phone. And with the 369 manifestation, which was invented by Nikola Tesla. This is who really invented electricity. He really was the inventor. He just had a tragedy and it's stolen from him. But that's some research you can do on your own. So Nikola Tesla invented the 369 method. He believed the numbers 3, 6, and 9 ruled the world, and they connected to everything, which it does, because 3 is about the start of things. 3 is creation. If you notice, the start of the year is in March. That's the actual spring equinox and the actual start of the astrological new year. So it's in March. That's the start of things. That's the creation, which leads to next 6, which 6 is about creativity, compassion, and connectivity. And if you notice, the summer starts in the 6th month, and then 9 goes into ending. And if you notice, fall, that's when things fall down, like when the leaves and the trees fall, and it's time to go into hibernation season. But which technically, I don't feel like getting into it, but each number is connected, right? And the 369 manifestation, what it entails is you want to write your desired goal / achievement or achievement 3 times. Now for me, it's either 3 a.m. or 6 times at 6 a.m. and 9 times at 9 a.m. or 3 p.m. or 6 p.m. or 9 p.m. You're going to do this for 33 days straight. Also, when you're writing this, try to make sure it equals up to 17 seconds. So you're going to write your desired goal in 3 times at 3 a.m. or 3 p.m., 6 times at 6 a.m. or 6 p.m., and 9 times at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. for 33 days straight. When you are writing your desired outcome or goal, always use I am grateful for as if it's already happened. I am thankful for. Already thank the universe in advance as if it already happened, because it did. It's going to happen. It's going to come into fruition. A reason why this method would not work out is no faith. That's the number one reason as to why this wouldn't work out. One of the main reasons why it would work out is surrendering. So just to go hand in hand, you have to, 1, it will not work out if you do not have faith, and it will work out if you surrender. What that means is you should not obsess over your desired outcome. You should not worry about the how. You should really not even worry about the when. You should only feel that it will come to fruition. Also, when you're writing these goals down, when you're writing the 3, 6, 9, you're going to think about it and envision it when you're writing your desired outcome and let go of it after that. You cannot cling on to it, or because clinging on to it is the opposite of faith is fear. You have a fear of the unknown, a fear that is not going to come true, and you're over obsessing over it. And again, we are magnetic beings. We do not chase, we attract. So you're going to drive it away from you with that mindset. I understand the law of attraction work where you can attract it, but if you over obsess over it, you can also drive it away from you as well. So you have to, at that point, practice the law of detachment when you have this. Now, what did I use for this method to work for me? I have physical proof of this method. Give me 1 second and I can talk about it now because it already happened. Okay. I have physical proof. Project 369 Manifestation Journal. This is my journal. Why I haven't done this method in a while is because I'm either too lazy or my time is consumed with so many other things. So I don't want it bad enough. Because if you want it bad enough, if you want your desired goal or manifestation or your outcome bad enough, trust me, you will stop at no cause. Nothing will stop you. Because for me, it's tunnel vision type of era you have to be in. It's when you fully committed and dedicated, and that takes discipline. And you just really have to be ready to commit to it because it's a commitment. In this journal is legendary. I'm gonna keep it. I brought it off of Amazon. They no longer have it. However, I have my own journal, which is linked in the description I created that I also wrote in where it worked out for me as well. We're going to get my book. So this was like a sample of the new one that I wrote. I didn't like how this one came out, but I have a green one that I wrote in. So for her step 1, she said to hold the thought for 17 seconds around 2 sentences long. Why 17 seconds? The brains need 17 seconds to create the energy of the thought we focus on. And if we focus on a thought of love for 17 seconds, our brains then start to create more of the energy, in turn aligning you to that of what you are claiming. So yeah, she said hold your thought for 17 seconds while you're writing your manifestation or your desired outcome, which is normally around 2 sentences long. That was her rule, but again, you could apply your own. She said 3 times in the morning, 6 times midday, and then 9 times before bed. She also said to visualize it, feel it, similar to me. This is so spiritual for me because this was a journey, and this is something that I want to save for another day to really go in depth on, but I'll just touch on this really quick. I manifested resigning from my job with financial freedom. And since then, it's been up. I was at this place of employment for 5 years, and it was hell to pay for me in that place of employment with what I was experiencing, just in all. But I stayed for 5 years for so many reasons, but I'll get into that maybe another time or later. But I stayed for 5 years. And at this time, I just was really to my breaking point. I'm just like, it's time to go. I was just pushed. I'm like, you got to make it happen. You can't keep waiting on this. You can't keep making an excuse. You got to make it happen. What you going to do? And when you manifesting, you also have to make sure to go after it. So I got tired and I was down to my last days, and I just started getting so many downloads, and I started getting more self-help books that were like being thrown at me, topics, titles. It was just coming to me. It was like the divine was gifting it to me and sending messengers in different ways. It was just like certain stuff was falling into my lap. So at that point, I started listening to The Secret audiobooks because I would drive in my work truck. So I would listen to Secret, and then after that I would also like the 4-hour work, so many different self-help books that I was reading at first, but then it started to become better because I'm like, damn, I can't read because I'm always driving. I'm at work. So then once I started listening to the audiobooks, it was up. So I started listening to it every day, and I discovered Nikola Tesla, and I just was kind of, well, I was so obsessive over it, and I'm like, I'm gonna use this to resign. In this book, I asked to resign from my job, and I did it for 33 days straight. And I think at the end, what was I writing up in here? Okay, I was writing some other stuff to the universe too, but cute. So I said, update, manifested it. I make stuff happen. Okay. I did this for 33 days straight. I said, I am so thankful that I have resigned from and still have financial freedom. That was my desired outcome. I wrote my last one, 7/8/21. So okay, this is the thing. I manifested this in July, right? I wrote this in July. At the end of it, I believe I wrote a date I wrote a certain date on it because I was waiting to do it because I was waiting on something. Y'all, this spiritualism. Look at this. Update December 4th. Thank you. I resigned. That shit is crazy. Okay, so the last day I wrote into my book, right? I added these numbers up. Ooh, this. Okay, crazy. But I'm gonna stop. So the last day I wrote in my book was 7/13/21, as you can see here, right? I thankful I resigned. So I added this up. If you see me, 7 plus 2 plus 1, I said 13, 10, 31. October 31. On October 31st, I walked out of my old employment, and that was my last day. I looked around, damn, 5 long years. I ain't been back since. I looked around and I was like, this is it. I'm leaving. I'm putting this letter in. I don't care. I just quit. No, I took steps to get to there, but I did. The point is, we're talking about the 369 manifestation and how it happened. You see this? My resignation went through on the 31st and they accepted it on the 1st of November, 111. It was 1. It says update December 4th. I resigned October 31st. The proof is in the pudding, baby. So that is how you do the 369 manifestation. That is my personal story. I will share more on that. I'll make another video about that. We'll get into it. Let me know if y'all want that. Now, the next one is going to be using what some people consider angel numbers. Some people just consider it a sequence. I think I did the 5, 5, 5, 5. So you would do the 1, 1, 1 method, the 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, and the 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 6, 6, 6, 7, 7, 7, 8, 8, 8, 9, 9, 9. Stop. Method is pretty much the same for each. You will write this, I consider 11 times for, you will write this 11 times, I guess, for one day. And then however the sequence is you want to do it, you can actually write it for one day 111 times. But you will write it for 22 times for 2 days, 33 times for 3 days. Let me make sure I include the days. 2 days, 1 day. Just a sequence. 44 times for 4 days. And this is the method I did 5 times for, because I wanted to change. 5 is ruled around change in numerology. And 4 is creating a foundation. If you want to work on stability, I'll go over that in a second. 6 for 6, 6, 6, 7, 7 for 7 days. 8, 88 for, and 99 times for 9 days. To make this method more effective, I would recommend doing this at the hour. It's 1 a.m. if you're a night owl, or 1 p.m., 2 a.m. or 2 p.m., 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. And if you want to go deeper into it, do it at 333. Start this at 222. Start this at 111, and so on. Of course, you would stop at 666, but 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., and 9 p.m. Now, when you're doing this method, it is very important, again, to release control, a desired outcome, surrender. It's time consuming. Your hands will hurt. The same with the 369 manifestation. If I had to rate this method, I would rate this method, I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10 because it varies. I haven't done every one. I just did the 5, 5, and 5, and this happened for me. It was very small what I used. It was something around change. But if you want to turn it up a notch, I would recommend every number that is associated with in numerology, whatever number your desired outcome is associated with, that is the method that I would use. If it's a method surrounding change, if you want to change of environment, I would recommend using 555. If it's surrounding stability in a foundation, something long-term, I would recommend 444. If it's around musical creativity, like a talent or a skill, I would recommend the start of something, I would recommend 333. If it's something around love or relationships, compassion, I would recommend 222. If it's around new beginnings, a new business, new home, I would recommend 111. If it's compassion, connection, I would recommend 666. If it's spiritual, something around God, something about around your spiritual gifts and talents, I would recommend 777. If it's money, abundance, and wealth, riches, I would recommend 888. If it's endings, separations, deaths, rebirths, I will recommend 999 method. So anything that you want to manifest surrounding the things that I just named, you would use one of these methods. I will rate this method, again, I said like an 8 out of, only because I can't say how it works for all of them, only the 555 method. It did happen. It didn't 5 days, but it did happen. It happened randomly. So definitely I will rate that 8 out of 10 for that method. Back into the 369 of what I was saying here. So in my journal, which I never finish, but this is gonna come. You know what? I'm gonna finish writing in it. So I started in this, but the green one I actually did, I manifest having my rent paid up, and I got it paid up. So manifest your desires, a guide to one's evolution. 3 is creation. It's third, it's connected to third energy. 6 is connected to compassion, our sixth sense and vibration. And then 9 is connected to, but that's crazy because 3 is connected to the energy, 4 is connected to the vibration, and then 9 is connected to the frequency, which are all connected to 1. 3, 6, and 9 is connected. No matter how you put it, everything equals back up to the numbers 3, 6, and 9, and it starts and goes in threes. Everything, even the seasons, 3, 6, 9, 12. So 3 is creation, 6 is compassion, and 9 is completion. 9 ether, frequency, 6 compassion, 6 sense, vibration, 3 creation, third eye, energy. And one thing that I do say, do not obsess over your desire. It will only delay your manifestation. This is my words. Do not focus on how it will come into fruition. Just be present and believe it will. Do not. I cannot stress this enough about any manifestation technique. Do not tell about this desire. Secrecy is protection. Keep it a secret. Practice being sacred. With this technique, you will journal and learn the power you have within. You will also learn everything you desire is already yours. If you can see it, 3, and feel it, 6, then it is already yours, 9. Let me say that again. If you can see it, that's the light up, right? That's the beginning. That's the creation. If you can feel it, what that goes to, the vibration. The vibration, that's extreme. Then it's already yours. Completion, number 9. I'm going to say that again. If you can see it, 3, you can create it. If you can feel it, that vibration is 6. Then it's already yours. Then it's already yours. Completion. I just want to wrap it up with this. The more you worry about how, the more you operate in a state of lack, which means that is what you'll attract. The action you put behind the intention is significant. As a magnetic being, you do not chase, you attract. Get into alignment, and all that you desire will come into physical form. That is my words. And again, I did say in here, you write your desire in present tense by using I'm so grateful for or I am so thankful that. Remember, intention matters the most. The power you hold is within. Believe. I did a damn good job with this. I need to order me some. So those are the first 2 techniques. The next one that I want to go over is, this is scripting. Scripting is as if you're writing a letter to the universe, to God, whatever you would like to call it, the higher power, as if it already happened and you're in physical form and you don't see that it happened, but you wrote that it already happened. I would rate scripting a 10 out of 10. Scripting has worked for me. The thing about scripting, it does not have a date. Scripting, I wouldn't put a date on scripting. Now, I'll also say this about scripting. It's very simple. Please be very specific when you're scripting, because it will happen. There's power in the tongue. There's life and death in the tongue. In addition to that, when you write it out, you're spelling it out what you will with that information. So that means it's going to come to life because you already see it. You're writing it. You're putting it out there into the universe. You're manifesting it by doing so. I'm going to give y'all an example, and this is just personal. I said it, and I also wrote down that I would be out of a place that I lived at within 6 months. I said I didn't want to stay no longer than 6 months. And I'm like, God, just, now when it was 6 months, I forgot about it. I was getting comfortable. You know what God did to me? Okay, you want it out of this place, you scripted it, you manifested. I had a break-in. So, be very, matter of fact, with that being said, I'm gonna rate scripting a 6 out of 10. Only because you have to be very specific. If being specific, I'm a 10 out of 10. But you got to stand firm on it, because it's like, oh, it's going to come, it's going to happen. But it might not happen how you want it to happen. And it might happen in a crazy way. And you have to be intentional. Faith without work is dead. And you cannot script and manifest these things and think that you're not going to be intentional behind it, because and actually put in the work behind it. Why it's important to put in the work is because you're preparing yourself. It's about preparation. You're preparing yourself to be prepared when it comes, because what happens is, if you're not intentional with what you're asking for, or you're not actually working or putting in the effort or preparing yourself for it to come in, when it come in, you will mishandle it. You will miss certain opportunities. You will fumble it. You will crash out. You will be out of alignment. So you're not going to value it. You're not going to do right with the opportunity or what you asked for in the first place. So it's no point if you're not preparing yourself. And again, that's when you have to make a sacrifice. Sacrifice comes from disobedience. Simple. Prime example, if you were eating right the first time, you wouldn't have to worry about going hard in the gym. Or if you was working out gradually over time, it wouldn't be so hard every time you have to go in. Now you got to sacrifice so much for this. Like, a lot of times comes from disobedience. So with that being said, you have to be intentional. For my situation, I forgot about it. And you have to be serious when you ask them for these things and actually mean it. We say that we want stuff so bad, but are we really ready for the things that we're asking for? Are you really ready for the things that you're asking for? Think about that before you manifest use any of you were. Are you really ready? If you're ready, prepare yourself. You ask for $1 million, you need to be writing down $1 million. You need to be writing down, looking up financial advisors and accountants, because that's what you need for a person who have millions of dollars. Some people don't get what they ask for out of not being prepared, but some people, it's still gonna come. Like me, I wanted to move within the 6 months. See, the way the divine work for me, it's still gonna happen for me. It might happen abruptly. It might sweep the rug from up under me, but it happens. So it's very important that I actually hold myself accountable, be disciplined, and actually hold myself to my word of what I said. Because when you say something, when you script something, actually don't believe in it and go after it, you're sending big signals to the universe that you're not really prepared for, you don't believe in yourself, and you're not intentional. You're just saying this. I was being intentional. That wouldn't have happened because I would have been already preparing myself to move. It wouldn't have seemed like it came out of nowhere. It seemed like it came out of nowhere because I had forgot about it. When I say surrender to the divine with your manifestation, I don't mean forget about it and actually not set goals towards it. I mean, don't over obsess over it. So for me, I forgot about it and I kind of just got comfortable and ain't that serious. I'll just stay. Why you ain't supposed to be there? And it happened. So scripting, I would recommend I would 10. If you're very specific, I would say a 10 out of 10. Write a letter to yourself. I'll make it real simple for scripting. I did it when I got my teeth done. I wrote, so thankful for my beautiful smile that I went to this place and I paid in full. I'm so thankful I had the money. I wrote it down and I wrote it as if it already happened. I closed my eyes and I also pictured it. I not only spelled it and wrote it out loud what I wrote. So that's important with scripting. I always say I'm so grateful for. I actually sign it like I'm writing to the universe. Sincerely, Siobhan. I try not to put dates on certain things anymore because time is illusion and I just try not to date it. Sometimes I use a certain date, like the 369 is the only one where I do it for a 33 day and I expect like, okay, the week at 33 day, or if I put a date in the 369. You can put a date with script. I'm so happy that I got my perfect smile, which I want another one, so I'm going back to do that again. But yeah, scripting is if it already write a letter to yourself. And it's the same as, to me, the 333 methods, the 444, 555, but something that you have to like do a certain amount of, just really writing a letter to yourself and write, dear God, dear universe, thank you for this or that. And make sure you're using blue ink for it. Be very important with your verbiage. Be very, but example is, say if you're scripting, I'm finally healed over my ex. I release him in good faith and health. Please say that, because this is a spell. Really want to get more technical with the scripting in terms of biblical, in terms of spiritual. You're going to take the script and fold the paper and put it in the book of Psalms. Also, put it under your pillow. Read it day and night. The next one I want to discuss is affirmations. Affirmations, you're actually speaking to you as if it's already happened. I rate this 5 out of 10 because you have to stay consistent. You have to remember to tell yourself. And this is really about confidence. You have to believe what you're speaking and you have to make it sound like it's ideal. Affirmations to me goes along with the telephone method, as if you call a friend and you talk to them as if it already happened. Girl, tell me why I just got this job. That one. I'm going to just write that down. Affirmations, telephone method. I'm going to put them together, these two together. Next topic, vision board, a digital board, which goes hand in hand. Oh, the water method. The water method is one more that I'm going to rate that I've done outside of scripting. What is one? I know the subliminals. Listening to New Moon scripting. Those was important. Like techniques with that. Reverend Ike have a lot of manifestation techniques. And guess what time it is? 5:55, 5 a.m. I've been seeing 5:55 a lot lately. 5:55 is surrounded with change. Hit the water manifestation. I'll just say visualization. Okay. So we're going to discuss affirmations, the telephone method, vision board, digital board, the water method, new moon scripting, and visualization. And I believe those are the last of the manifestation techniques. So for affirmations, I will rate affirmations 5 out of 10. Only it has to do with confidence. It also have to do with consistency, remembering to say the affirmations. I tried the affirmations. One of the best ways to remember to say your affirmations is to take sticky notes and put it on your mirror for when you go in the bathroom. So I definitely had my affirmations that way. And some days I still forget. Like I would go in there and brush my teeth and I forgot to do it. I just wasn't that committed to that. It's okay to talk to yourself, talk out loud. And I think I had to get used to that. So I think if you're into talking to yourself, I'm into it in my head. I have a lot of internal dialogue, but I speak stuff to myself. Maybe I need to talk to myself more out loud, and that would probably work for affirmations. But I would say in affirmations, I would rate it a 5 out of 10. Confidence. Sometimes I feel kind of silly or goofy when I'm actually beautiful in the mirror. I do it. I'm like not loving on myself. I'm like, girl, get in the mirror. Like, oh yeah, I'm beautiful. And I talk to myself. I do self-talk. I do interviews with people in my head, or like I will look into them and I will just start talking like I'm in an interview, or like someone has asked me something, certain things. That's not really affirmations. I guess that's my talking out loud. That doesn't feel weird, but saying to myself like, I am beautiful. I am a limitless being. Be like so head ass, but I did it for a while. I listened to one of the self-help books that taught me I am a limitless being. I surrendered to creative solutions. Let's see if I can find that book. Okay. Gabby Bernstein. Yes, I found her. You Are the Guru, name of the book. She helped me with affirmations. That's when I started out on my affirmations, and I will write them down. I wrote some of her affirmations, and then I also wrote my own affirmations. I got into it, but I feel like it's a confidence thing. It's a consistency thing, but affirmations do work. They do work, because the way you use affirmations is the same way that I actually speak out loud when I'm talking to someone and I'm looking in the mirror like I'm interviewing with someone. So affirmations do work, but I still rate it a 5 out of 10. It's not something that I'm just really big on. Now, in terms of affirmations, listening to other people, I don't know why. Listening to subliminals, maybe I need to get some more confidence in speaking to myself, but listening to those subliminals or affirmations and the frequencies on YouTube, that helped me. I swear, after I start feeling it and thinking it in my head, it's like it wires and it connects to my theta, alpha, or beta waves, and it connects with me. But to myself, I need to get better with affirmations. But for now, I will rate affirmations a 5 out of 10. So the telephone method is similar to what I do with the interview method. So the interview is very important. That is a form of manifestation. So the interview method, 10 out of 10. I did the telephone method one time. Matter of fact, I did do it with my cousin. I'm saying I listened to Bob Proctor. I also listened to Reverend Ike. I also listened to Abraham Hicks. I also listened to Shira Seven, a Shira Goddess, better. I also listened to other teachers. Got the Brian Tracy. It's so different YouTubers like the lady Gabby, definitely Rhonda, who wrote The Secret. It's another law of attraction that I listen to. Stephanie is another manifestation coach that I listen to. I was listening to this a while ago, and then of course back to Tesla. But the telephone method is basically you share your success with someone as if it already happened. I would say a 7 out of 10, only because it depends on what you're sharing with the person, what you feel comfortable with. And the reason why I say is because you can't trust everybody with to share this. So I don't think to me, one of my main tips for the manifestation techniques is to not share it with others before it comes to life. Like, keep it to yourself. It's your baby. It's sacred. Just water it and watch it grow. But that's why I don't really care for the telephone method. And another thing is, I don't know the time limit when it comes to the telephone method. I did it one time with my cousin, and we did it with each other. I don't know when it's happened, but what I spoke for the telephone method was future, way like, you know what, let me say it's very far in the future. It might be tomorrow. So I would say 7 out of 10, only because you have to share with people. The interview method, 9 out of 10. I'm in the mirror, I'm talking to myself as if it already happened. Like I'm talking to someone, like I interview, whether it's an interview for a job, whether it's an interview for some big opportunity, or like I'm talking amongst workers for a new career I want, or a new collab so I talk as if it already happened, or like I'm talking to people. That may seem a little crazy, but I like the interview method because it's just like, it's private, it's intimate. Even though the physical people are not physical form, they will be. The vision board, 8 out of 10. With the vision board, I do not recommend doing it with everyone. No ma'am, no sir. I don't know why people do their vision boards with so many people. I do not recommend that. But I would say an 8 out of 10 for the vision board, only because sometimes with the vision board, you will put a picture on there and it will show up and it will happen. But you'll go back like, wait a minute, this happened. It don't look exactly like it. And it's not supposed to. That's part of why you have to release that obsessive of how it's going to look, because it'll show up, but it'll just be slightly different. And that's unique. That's how life is supposed to go. Most of the things on my vision board happen, but it just happened different. Like I said that I wanted to be on stage, and it was like a pitch on stage, like to do like stand-up. And I ended up doing stand-up poetry. I ended up being invited to my friend event, and that wasn't the setting that I pictured it in, even though it was wonderful and they loved my poem. It went well. I just pictured it kind of different. Like I didn't know it was coming that set, and I thought it's just weird. But I would say 8 out of 10. Most of the things on my vision board happened. It just happened completely different. Like if I can go into more detail, I would. A digital board, 4 out of 10. I can't recall the things that happened on my digital board. I made multiple different digital boards, and that's probably why. I just feel like everything is so much better in physical form when you actually touch it, when you actually write it. Like, I don't know. Digital is digital. Like, I'm an analog girl in a digital world, but I'm kind of digital as well too. I like technology to a certain extent. I would say a 4 out of 10. I feel like two things on a digital board came to light. The only way I feel like the digital board is very downloaded in your mind is when you save it as your screensaver. Take a look at it, actually write down and actually work to it intentionally, because you would actually forget about your digital board. So it's important. I had it as my screensaver, but then again, you got to protect it from evil eye. You don't want everybody seeing your screensaver. So yeah. The next method is the water method. With the water method, you're going to take 2 cups of water. You're going to write your life. I'm 120 pounds right now. I look like this, yada, 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 this. And then the other cup, you're going to write, I am 100, your future self. I am 140 pounds. So how you want to actually be, I look like this and that. You're going to take the cup of the 140, your desire, and pour it into the cup of 120, your current. Make sure you put current and desire. And once you pour it into that cup, you're going to drink that cup. You're going to say it, what's on there, and then you're going to drink that cup of water. That is the water manifestation method. Also, another water manifestation method is writing on it and speaking over it and drinking it. That's very important too. Spring water glass, pouring it into another form of the water manifestation technique is you can think the positive thought or think a certain thought over it as you pour into a cup and or glass, better yet, and then you grab the glass and you drink it with the same thoughts. So that's another one. I remember how this worked out. I think I did weight and I lost the weight and I gained it. It can happen, but you have to just be consistent with it and just actually maintain it. Life is about maintenance. People don't want to maintain. So I would rate the water method 7 out of 10. I think the water method should be used for small things, very small. And afterwards, you should keep it going. New moon scripting, I'll leave that there. I'm not going to go in depth. I'll make another video about it. If you are connected with the moon cycles and you are into astrology or you are into actually doing new moon rituals, I will make a video about that. But new moon rituals, new moon scripting is write down things that you want to manifest. And you can actually put that in a cup of water as well. You write down things that you want to manifest as if it already happened on a new moon. And depending on what the new moon is, make sure it's associated around that. Just like if it was a new moon in Capricorn, it should be around work, something to get you foundation, grounded, or Virgo, or organization, something to get you structured, clean, or Taurus, something around beauty, home, or something that's around diet. Sagittarius would be something that is around traveling, adventure, or a deeper quest or knowledge. New moon in Leo would be something around confidence, personality, actually showcasing yourself. New moon in Aries would be something that's around passion, something that's around work or partying. New moon in Gemini would be something surrounding around communication or actually connections or being social. Whereas a new moon in Libra would be around something that's aesthetically pleasing, something concerned with makeup, or something ruled by justice, something around legal, something around your legal practices or legal issues, or something where it has to justice. Or new moon around Aquarius would be something that has to do with futuristic, something around technology, something information. If it's something about going back to school or a new project for researching something analytical. Lastly, the water signs, a new moon in Scorpio would be something around investigation, something mysterious, or something that your shadow self, or you have shed layers for a deeper connection with emotions. New moon in Cancer is something around your compassion, something around your emotions, something around your connections and relationships. And then last but not least, a new moon in Pisces will be something around dreamy, something that's connected with your dreams of your future, something that your emotions, that's how you would use your new moon scripting. Depending on what the new moon is in, you would base your scripting on that. So again, if it's just, for example, Capricorn, I'm so thankful that I've earned this or whatever, because you know they love it. I like it. Also, before, we can't forget prayer as a form of manifestation. Praying actually before bed and in the morning about the manifestation, and of course praying and thanking that it already happened. But lastly is visualization. You're visualizing that you're closing your eyes and you're visualizing yourself and how you feel. You're actually feeling it. Let's just say you want a new job. You're actually closing your eyes. You're looking around, walking into that new job. You feel the wind blowing, and you're concentrating on how you feel in that setting. I actually was taught this, one of these methods in therapy as well. Well, I already knew, but this was one of the methods in therapy. When I'm angry, think about a vacation place that I want to go to, or closing my eyes and visualizing if I'm there. Like, it's taking you out of your reality to your desired reality. So visualization is very strong. You picture exactly where you want to go, how it is, and you make sure you focus on how you feel while you, and make sure it's a good feeling. So that's important. Another thing is driving to the actual settings, like driving past house, visualizing dream houses. I always, certain neighborhoods or big houses, just closing our eyes and picturing yourself in one of the houses. So that's important. And lastly, I did not rate that. So the new moon scripting, I rate that a 10 out of 10. Always, it's the most efficient. And then visualization, I will rate that a 10 out of 10, because not only are we visualizing, we're also focusing on the feeling, which is very important, the feeling of everything, because that's surrounded with the frequency and the vibration and the wavelength of everything. So those are the manifestation techniques, and that is my rating of the manifestation. And that is my rating of, it's time for bed, the manifestation techniques. If you would like me to go in depth on each manifestation technique in terms of just personal, just break it down, or just actually show it, or go on it where I'm actually using one of the manifestations or all of them separately, please let me know, because that would just be, you know, I can do the 369 one, I can do that. Yeah, just let me know how you like the video. Thank you guys for coming to my channel. I really appreciate it. And just being here, listening to my manifestation techniques. It is I for Art, Shavonda Gray, The Alchemist, and it is past my bedtime. I'm tired.